Everyone, we are just testing out all of the tech right now, making sure everything. We are just testing out all of the tech right now, making sure everything called up. All right, well, you guys let me know in the chat that you can hear me. Change this. I'm in a co-working space today, and I've never done this, and I'm feeling like I'm speaking way too loud. Co-working space today. All right. Hey, Chrissy. So good to see you. We're going to get started in a couple minutes, but just wanted to say hi. So glad you guys are all here. Hey, Jenny from North Carolina. Just wanted to say hi. So how is everybody doing this morning? All right, we're gonna finish working on this. But real quick, why don't you guys let us know in the chat just what grade you teach and where you are coming from as I edit some of this stuff. Yeah, Jenny, I'm working on the echo right now. I think if I pause myself, that is better, and then I don't hear the sound. Jenny, is that better? Let's see. Let me change it here. Hi, Amy. So glad you're here. Hey, Ann. Hey, Vicky. Yeah, Maribel, something is going on with our email system as far as links and things. So we're really sorry about that. It took you to a past link. They keep switching our links out for some reason, even though we've triple checked. So thank you for letting us know. We got a whole bunch of emails about it, and the team is working on that right now. Before we get started, I just want to say, hey, if we have not met yet, my name is Kristen Donegan. I've been a teacher since 2005. It's like the only thing I ever wanted to do. I was that kid growing up where I would, take my teacher's old dry erase markers from the trash can and play school at home. It was like I said, only thing I ever really, really wanted to do. Love, love, love teaching. Here in San Diego, I've taught kindergarten through second grade. Um, and then the year everyone got laid off, do you remember that? The recession of what, 2007, 2008? 400 of us tenured teachers got laid off. So that was the year I finally got tenured. It was the year I was getting my master's. So I was lucky enough to teach in Hawaii. Taught first grade there, was homesick, and came back. Came back home, got married, started a family, and got a sweet 3.5-year-old girl, Livy. If you follow along on Instagram, you probably know how sassy she is. And then I have a sweet baby boy, Kai, who is 9 months old. Um, he is like our little miracle baby. Um, yeah, biggest baby in the NICU. So that's kind of what I've been up to, and then getting to still be in the education space while supporting teachers as I'm doing the mom thing full time, taking my son to all of his high risk appointments. He had a brain injury when he was born, and the whole thing. You can see the story over on Instagram at Easy Teaching Tools, but that's kind of a little bit about me and what we're doing here. And I'm just really, really grateful and thankful that you're here. Before we get started, I just really want to honor you for taking time out of your hopefully relaxing but fun, busy summer to be here. I know the last 3 years, I'm not going to cuss here, but in real life, I would. We're a hot mess, right? And so the fact that you're even committed to showing up on your summer break, recognizing that things weren't working so well, and maybe even pre-pandemic they weren't, I just really want to honor you and thank you for being here. So before we get started, just how this is going to work, it's about an hour training. There'll be time for questions and things like that. And then at the very end of it, the bonuses we promise, I'll get into that, but you'll get all of that at the very end. We are giving away my most favorite. I'm going to grab it right now. I think we're giving away 4 time timers one of my favorite top 5 things to use in the classroom. I'm actually going to use it now to keep myself on track. To enter, my team will leave a link for you all in the chat. If you're not in the Facebook group yet, we have hundreds of dollars worth of giveaways from resources I share about in the training, TPT gift cards, a planner from the Teaching Texan, Amazon gift cards, cash, all the things. And also, if you're not in the Facebook group, you probably don't know. We have different secret phrases in today's training and in our different bonus videos where just keep track of those secret phrases. And at the very end, you have a chance to win 200 bucks. So if you're not there, the team will link the Facebook group for you. Yeah, Rachel, the timers are I've gone through several different types, and their newer one is magnetic, so you can stick it on your whiteboard. And I used it all the time in my classroom for my students to be responsible for their own time and then to manage myself as well. All right, looks like we're getting those links figured out. So we're about to get started. I'm going to set my timer. And if you don't know, it counts backwards. So just off topic, when my students were working on center time, I'd be like, time check, and they could physically see or visually see what's happening. And then when it goes off, it beeps. And so then my students knew it was time to clean up or whatever that is. So I'm going to use that for myself today. And then we are going to get started. Sound is good. Visual is good. Everyone's good. All right, cool. All right, here we are. I'm going to go live. Sarah, glad you are loving it. So that was all just pre. Hello, welcome, welcome. And now, now the training will will begin. Everyone, welcome so much to the 3 p.m. Teacher Series. It's a series my team of teachers and I put together to really support teachers to have a better life, right? The last few years have been tough. Let us know in the chat what teaching has been like for you and why you're even showing up today. I know there's a million other things that you could be doing, and here you are. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So like I said, welcome, welcome. I'd love to see your takeaways on what you're learning today. So feel free at any point in this training to tag me over on Instagram so I can see what you're up to. And like I said, I would love to know what made you join this training. And then finally, I mentioned before we officially went live, is that we have bonus trainings happening, plus hundreds of dollars of giveaways inside the 3 p.m. teacher Facebook group. So tap the link in the chat to join that. If you go to the all access page for your companion workbook, the link is there to join us as well. We had a bonus training yesterday, tips to relieve back to school anxiety. We've got one coming up on how teachers are consistently leaving at 3, so you can ask them all the questions on how they're able to do it. And then we have a final one coming up, how to plan out your school year so that when school starts and things kind of get back to business, you'll be ready to go. And then, like always, if you have any questions at all, leave them in the chat or send us an email at customersupport@easyteachingtools.com. And my team will be happy to help you. It's a team of teachers who are in the classroom and a few who are no longer in the classroom. They're also here in the chat and the comments to support you and help you out because I could not do this all by myself. All right, so today's training is the Discover the Secret to Consistently Leaving School at 3 p.m. It's much easier than you think. I promise If I was able to do it, you can do it as well. And the thousands of teachers I've been working with, even during pandemic teaching, they were able to do it. So, as I'm reading your comments in the chat, you're definitely in the right place if you don't want teaching to consume your entire life anymore. If you want to be the best teacher you can be without sacrificing all of your time, you don't want to repeat it last year and you want next year to be so much better. If that's you, type a me in the comments. And then you want to have more free time, right? At the end of the day, we're more than just teachers, and you want to have more time with your friends and your family where you can actually be truly present. Now, we shared we've got two fun bonuses for hanging out today, and they'll not only reward you for your time, but they'll help you get organized and save time grading. One is an hour professional PD certificate. So at the very end, you got to be here for that. We'll leave a link so you can download yours. And then my popular editable grading list that over 10,000 teachers are already using. I use them all day long in my classroom, and so do tens of thousands of teachers as well. Now, here's what you're going to get and what you'll learn by hanging out today. You're going to discover the biggest mistake most teachers make and how to avoid it. You're going to discover your teacher type and how it's preventing you from leaving on time. Simple strategies to avoid distractions so you can lesson plan faster. And then easy to implement grading time savers so you don't have to watch another episode of Real Housewives with a stack of papers on your lap. How does that sound? If you're ready to take action and you're ready to commit, say so in the comments and tag me on Instagram at Easy Teaching Tools. Now, today's going to be different. The things I'm sharing aren't theories. These are proven strategies that really work and have been working in thousands of teachers' classes pre-pandemic and during the pandemic. Today's not going to be a waste of time like the other trainings maybe you've attended. So make sure you have your companion workbook. My team will leave a link for you in the chat. This will help you. I've got mine right here. It will help you just guide you through what we're doing today. I love it also has a schedule of all the trainings and the bonus trainings. It has a clickable link if you didn't know to grab you got a registration bonus as well, which meant it's also my popular editable back to school pamphlet that will save you time next school year. You could even prep it now and be ready and good to go. So that's in there. So if you don't have this right this moment, it's going to be okay. Just grab a pencil, pen, paper, but make sure to download this at easyteachingtools.com/3 p.m. all access. Once the team links it, I will pin it to the top of this chat so you guys can grab it at your leisure. Now, I also mentioned, Emily, the editable back to school pamphlet is in your companion workbook. There's a clickable link there for you that you can download. Cool? Good. Tara is ready. Leslie is ready. Krista is ready. Let's do this. The last thing you need, and it's not necessary, if you have a red and green crayon just lying around, I don't. Well, I kind of. This is what they got here in the little workspace. Just whatever pen you're using will work as well. Cool? All right, cool. Leslie, I love that you have the editable grading list. They really are so simple and such a huge time saver in your classroom. So thanks so much for sharing. So I've been asked, how did this series come together? I taught for 13 years and I really struggled my first 7 years as a teacher, and you may be able to relate. I had a massive wake up call and I had to create a proven system that solved a lot of the problems I was having in my classroom that I knew other teachers were having as well. Many of you are probably experiencing the same thing. So here's what happened. Early on in my teaching career, I believed in order to be effective, productive, and a good teacher, I had to stay late and bring work home. And it took me years to finally figure out that it really didn't have to be that way. Um, and not just that, but getting so much was thrown at me, right? It was put on my plate and I didn't really know how to do with it. I never could get caught up. No matter how many hours I stayed late, no matter how much stuff I brought home, it felt like my to do list was never ending. Can you relate to that at all? Like, does your to do list, is it just piling up no matter what you do? And then on top of that, I was always trying to create engaging lessons that met the needs of my students. I was trying to organize our differentiated centers, responding to a million emails, finding missing student work, and all the things. And then after work, right, then I'm teaching intervention class or I've got meetings. And then by the time I get home, I'm still thinking about school as I'm sitting there with a bowl of cereal on my lap because it's late, or as I'm in the shower in the morning, like, what can I do better? What can I do to be more effective? And it just never ended. If this sounds like you, Ginny, saying it does, type me in the comments. Now, on top of teaching all day, like I said, I taught after school intervention. I was on several committees. I attended PD. I taught PD. I attended summer school. And just like to say, a lot of this was happening before I was tenured. So if you're a veteran teacher now, you're like, yeah, I remember those days. And I did all this because my teaching salary, for one, couldn't get me through the summer, right? Because teachers should be paid a heck of a lot more. And then the other part, and I've talked with a lot of teachers about this, is that I was often guilted into saying yes. Can you relate? I did this because I wanted to be liked. I wanted to support my team. I wanted to make my principal happy. I knew I was being compared to other teachers at my school. I wanted to be helpful. I wanted to make a good impression. But what I didn't realize was that saying yes to everything meant I was saying no to me. Now, am I the only one, or do you do this too? Now, here's the craziest part. I thought working 70 hours a week was completely normal. Did you know the average teacher works more than 400 of unpaid overtime every single year? And we don't bat an eye at it. We're just like, this is how it is. This is teaching. This is what everybody does, right? And I thought this was the only way because no one showed me another way. Like when I was in my or credential program and my master's program and everything else, everyone just worked a ton, right? And then I just thought I was fine with this busy schedule until I wasn't. And I went on this way for the first 7 years in my classroom. The breaking point for me came the year that I was hired to teach a 1-2 combo. The year Common Core was being implemented at a school 50 miles away. And here's the good part, it was the day before school started. It was not good. It was not good. That was one of the hardest years in my 13 years as a teacher. That was the year that put me in the hospital. It was the year that I just couldn't catch up. No matter how many hours I put in, I was barely getting by. I mean, I was drowning. I was literally drowning. And I would have gone on this way because I didn't know another way. I just knew I'm a teacher. I got to get all this stuff done. And this is just what it is. But my wake up call came when I had a panic attack and I ended up in the ER. And that's when they told me that I needed to make some changes immediately in my life. I realized at that moment, holy moly, me being a workaholic had major repercussions on my life and my health. And maybe you're like I was then. Maybe you're having trouble getting everything done. Maybe it's taking away time from the things that you truly love. If you can think about it right now, what things are you missing out on? And because you're having trouble with getting everything done and all the changes that have been thrown at you the last couple of years, and if we're being honest, like before COVID was even a thing, I realized I lost a big chunk of myself. Teaching became all consuming. Do you feel like that too? Like the next thing I knew, my identity was being a teacher. It was no longer, the Kristen who went on surf trips and traveled the world and went to happy hour. I wasn't doing those things anymore because I let teaching consume me because I didn't know another way to not, right? And so I realized no matter what, I needed to find a way to spend less time on all the school stuff and more time on things that I really, really loved and made me happy. Have you ever wondered that we're more fun in the summertime? Right? My husband used to tell me, like, I love summer, Kristen, because you're carefree, you're relaxed, you get to cook, you get to do all the things that you love because you're not consumed by your job. So that's the year that I created the easy organization method. It was my solution to spending less time in the classroom and bringing some balance back into my life. Let me know in the chat. How does balance sound for you? That's the year I became obsessed with creating different systems and routines to ensure that our class was a well oiled machine so that I wasn't working at all hours of the night. My students knew exactly where to turn in papers. They knew what to do if they finished their work early. They could work independently during centers without interrupting me anymore, which meant I actually got to teach. Systems and things in our classroom were running so smoothly. And the best part was that I was completely prepped for the following week by Thursday. So there's no more Sunday planning, no more rushing to the copy machine Monday morning. I was ready to go. And as I became obsessed with creating systems and finding ways to be more efficient, I began to notice a really cool benefit is that my students knew how to do that as well. And the best part was that I wasn't having to repeat myself all day long. Is that something you get tired of doing too? And what was also really cool is that I actually got to enjoy teaching again because I wasn't feeling rushed, because I actually got to be present and I got to be in the moment. And if there were days where I stayed later, because there's going to be days, right? Report cards and parent conferences, and there's things that come up. I was staying later because I wanted to, not because I felt guilted into doing it. And that was a really big difference. So that is one, Peg, I'm glad you're listening. That's when I created the easy organization method. It's the number one way to be the first teacher out of the parking lot, completely prepared. And it's what 2000 over 2000 teachers right now are currently able to do. I'll talk more about this program if you want to dive deeper with me a little later on. Now, you may be thinking, sounds great, Kristen, but not possible for me. You don't know my home dynamics. You don't know the group of students I have or my admin and all the things. I get it. I get it. I've been at all different types of schools. I've been on all different types of teams. And I just realized that if I didn't make the change, no matter what, nothing was going to change. I can like hope and cross my fingers that next year is going to be different, but it's not. It just isn't, right? So I just knew when I saw the transformation that was happening within my classroom and in my life, I knew that more teachers needed something like this. So I made a decision to commit so that I was no longer playing catch up too. Are you also ready to commit so that you're no longer playing catch up anymore? Let me know in the chat when you think about your current situation, what type of things are you unable to make time for anymore because teaching just got in the way? And if you've given up a lot, chances are you are like me too, right? You've given so much to your students that you barely have time for the important people in your life, like your family, right? Like that's why we do this. Love being a teacher, but at the end of the day, there's more to life than teaching. Here's what I learned from that experience. I knew in an instant that was the wake up call I desperately needed. What if today is your wake up call as well? Yeah, Lori, you're right. Hope is not a strategy. We can hope all day long, but if we don't have a plan in place, it's just not going to happen. Yeah, Maria's saying she misses being able to explore and travel. Haley wants to exercise, have friends again, right? Jenna wants some self care. Kimberly wants friends. I see a lot of the same things, you guys, as you're reading the chat. You're definitely not alone. And it's possible to get all that back into your life. I promise. So let's look at your classroom and your life right now. Let's talk about you as a teacher, right? We're gonna use a garden metaphor, and you're always tending to the needs of your students and creating the best environment so they can learn. But when we're so busy tending to the needs of them, we're not tending to the needs of ourselves, right? You have your own garden, and you also have to ensure that it's growing. And right now, we don't know what your garden looks like. We're going to check it out right now. So here's what you need. This is my easy organization method garden. You've got this page in your companion workbook. If you don't, it is okay. If you don't have your workbook right now, no big deal. Grab your piece of paper and you're going to draw the garden as we go. Cool? All right, cool. And I'm using my time timer, I'm checking it, trying not to get too off topic as I tend to do. All right, so you've got your garden. And we know every flower, right, needs strong roots. And if you're a first grade teacher, you know next gen science standards, you can't have a garden without those roots. Without them, your roots won't grow. Same thing when you think about your classroom. Your class will not grow. You won't be as effective as you want to be without systems and routines. Those are your roots. Okay, Renee, go to page 6, and it looks like this. And not only systems and routines for your students, right, but also yourself. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions right now. And if you answer no to any of them, color your roots red. And be honest, there's no judgment when we do this. So, systems and routines. Can you easily pass out and collect student work without losing papers? Do you spend less than 10 minutes a day dealing with student interruptions during instruction? And does your class run smoothly and get you excited for the next lesson? Answer yes or no to those questions just in your head, and then go back to your garden and color in those roots. If you answer no to any of them, color your roots red. If you don't answer no, or if you don't have a red pen, just use your pen. Jenny, you're not alone, and I love you speaking up. Jenny said, "How are you kidding? So red." Okay, no big deal. It's okay, and it's perfect that you're in this space right now. Maybe recognizing your garden, maybe needing a little more love than it's getting. You're in the perfect spot. Don't even worry. All right. So now let's move to the next part of your garden, which is the soil. We know that every a flower won't grow without it. I tried science experiments at kindergarten class. Same thing goes for your classroom. So many of you are here today because you want more time, right? More time to teach, more time to get your to-do list, and most of all, more time with your family, because that's what's really important at the end of the day. And we already talked about, what do you want more time doing? I know we want more hours in the day. It's not possible. I'm not Beyonce. So, a simple solution to time is really to set strong boundaries and actually honor them. We'll get into boundaries later on in the training, but let's take a peek. You guys are cracking me up. Let's take a peek at your garden here. So, time and boundaries. And if you answer no to any of these questions, color in your soil. Do you work outside of your contract hours more than 3 times per week? Do you bring work home or go to school on the weekends? And do you wish you could spend more quality time with your family and friends? Go ahead, be honest. Renee, we'll leave a link for you again just to make sure that you're on the correct, you get the correct link to the workbook. And Renee, I'll just say I'm not sure. I think the team's very busy in the chat. If you go to 3pmteacher.com/3pm all access, it will be there for you in case you have the older workbook. I made some last minute changes at the last minute. There we go. Linda says, I'm in super sandy soil because it's so red. Oh my goodness, you guys. Diamond, I don't know about that. And then Penny says she always brings work home. Guys, it's all good. If your garden is red right now, it is all good. We're gonna get it sorted out. My soil looks like lava. All right, it's okay. So here we go. We're going to move on now to the part of your garden, accountability and community. That's like the stem and the leaves um, to collect the sunshine. Same thing can be said of your classroom. To be the best teacher you can be, right? It helps to have accountability and community. And you're not going to be the best teacher you can be surrounding yourself with all the negativity in the teacher's lounge. It's just not going to happen. I've tried there, it doesn't work. um, you really need support from teachers, right, who aren't judging you, who are going to be there to support you when your transitions aren't working in your classroom, or when your centers are just a mess and there's too many interruptions. I've been there, and I needed some help too. You will shine when you've got a safe place to holler for help. Do you have a sort of community right now, or do you feel like it's it's not the best? So, some more questions for you. Do you have a safe, supportive group of like minded teachers who help you stay on track and stick to your boundaries? Can you share honestly with other teachers about parts of teaching that you're struggling with without judgment? And do you have someone you can reach out to when something isn't working? Some of you are saying supportive to a point. I love Clarissa. She has an amazing team. That's amazing. Beth says she has negative coworkers. Yeah, I've been at all types of schools, all types of people. Kathleen says, finally, something that isn't red. Cool. How does that feel, Kathleen? I'm trying to catch up on all these comments. They are moving, moving, moving. Kiara, you're not alone. She said, my little busted me out. Mom, we go to school on the weekends. Yeah, a lot of teachers say the same thing. So the whole point, right, of your garden is to have a pretty flower to look at. And the goal at the end of the day is to be truly happy. Like, yeah, we want to leave at contract time, but what's the real reason? Because we want to enjoy our life outside of our job. And the goal at the end of the day is to be happy, not just in the classroom, but at home as well. And sometimes it's really, really hard to do that. And you can relate, right? When you're overwhelmed and you're frustrated and you're short on time and you feel like you're not being heard and you just feel like you can't get it all done. And that may make you feel like you're not being the best teacher you can be. So, my last set, I think, of questions for you. No, we got one more. Do you drive to work happy, confident, and excited about the day? And at the end of the day, do you feel relaxed, accomplished, and prepared for the next day? And finally, are you missing out on things you really love? Like working out, seeing friends, making a real meal, not a bowl of cereal on your lap, because teaching's consumed your life. If you answer no to any of those, color your flower red or color it in. Robin says, and we're back to red. All right. Thank you for your honesty. And Clarice, a lot of teachers felt the same way. She said last year she dreaded each day before it started. Yeah, that's not a way to live. Life is too short. And I learned that with my son's health scare. We both had massive health scares. We didn't know if we'd make it after his birth. And I realized from there that I need to be better about making the most of each day. It can't be miserable. I've got to make a change or else I'm not going to have anything to look forward to. Cindy says, I'm excited about the day. And then, yeah, then life happens. Right. All right. So finally, when you're looking at your garden and thinking about your garden, gardens can't grow without pollination. Getting back to those next gen science standards, right? And they need butterflies or bees or whoever to do that. So that's why butterflies are necessary for your garden. Butterflies can't survive without a garden, and your garden can't survive without the butterflies. They work together. It's not one or the other. And I'm going to repeat that again. It's not one or the other. It's not having to choose between school and between teaching. Now, these are just a few butterflies of things that they bring to you. You know, the things that you really want and maybe you're missing out on in your life, like downtime, valuable family time, hobbies, maybe your health. What other butterflies would you add in there? And which one of these right now are you missing? And which one do you want to have back when you start school next year? So, last set of questions. Do you get at least an hour a day for downtime or hobbies that are just for you? Are you happy with the amount of quality time you spend with your family? And are you able to eat healthy meals and work out 3 times a week? Amber says she cries in her car at least once a week before and after school. You're not alone. Amber, what do you want it to look like for you next school year? Because it shouldn't have to be that way for you. That doesn't, I'm sure, feel good, right? So, all the parts of your garden, as you can see now, they work together. It doesn't have to continue being one or the other, and you don't have to continue choosing between school or home because that is exhausting. So, as we look at your garden, how well is it growing? Let us know in the chat, like how much of it was colored in. You know, 0 parts, 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts, 4 parts, or five. And the purpose of this exercise is to really examine and see the areas where you can grow so you can be truly happy because you deserve it. And leaving school at contract time completely prepared is one way to get you that. So you don't have to worry about school once you get home again. This is Melissa. Her garden was looking like yours a couple years ago before she started using the easy organization method. And now that she's been using it, she's able to leave her day not feeling defeated and she's able to feel accomplished. Like she got things done at school and then she can separate that and go home and pick up her kids and like get to actually transition home and spend time with them. If you want what Melissa has, type me in the chat. So let's move on now to the next part of our training. This is also why you're here, is the 4 simple steps to consistently leave. Now you needed to be able to see what your garden looked like before you could take this in, okay? So we're gonna discover your teacher type and how it's holding you back, the biggest mistake most teachers make and how to stop doing it, um, tips to avoid distractions when lesson planning, and the secret to grading stuff more efficiently. So here are the teacher types. If you really want to consistently leave at school, you've got to recognize what type of teacher are you, and you'll be able to really easily see that type of teacher and who you are, and then decide how you want to move from being that teacher to the 3 p.m. teacher. So I'm not going to read all these because you guys all can see it. Kay saying red alert. Um, you're most likely not the burned out teacher. And I know you're feeling burned out. Burnout is temporary. The fact that you're here in the summertime on this training tells me you're not that, or at least you don't want to be that anymore. There's the workaholic teacher. That was me who just is all hours of the day doing all the things. Then there's the yes teacher who wants to be liked, who wants to make everyone happy. Um, who's joining all the committees and all the things, getting there early, staying late. Emily, you can be more than one. I was all of them. I was a mix of like workaholic and yes teacher, which led me back down to the burned out teacher. I've gone through them all in my career. Kimberly, so good to see you here. And then there's the 5 p.m. teacher who's like, I'm going to try to say no more often, leaving closer contract time, but, wants to do it more consistently. And then our goal and the reason why you're here at this training is to be a 3 p.m. teacher. And it's effective teacher who no longer sacrifices all their valuable family time. They know how to do things in their classroom effectively. They've got systems and routines. They've got their centers down. They've got paperwork down. Their students know exactly what to do so that they're able to teach, be effective, and at the end of the day, leave. And it's possible for you too. Let us know in the chat what type of teacher you are. Looks like you guys are already doing it. We see lots of 5 p.m.s, combination, Workaholic and 5 p.m. Okay, cool. So now you get to recognize that. Okay. Now, the goal of this series and why we put it together is to take you where you are right now and get you to be a 3 p.m. teacher. We want to get you out of your current role ASAP. So if you want to be a 3 p.m. teacher, type me in the chat. So we figured out your teacher type and how it's preventing you from leaving on time. So we're going to get clear on that. Now let's move on to step two. This is the biggest mistake most elementary teachers make. And this was for sure me for a long time. And the teachers who I collaborate with inside my program, Easy Organization Tools, and I see it all over Instagram. The biggest mistake teachers make is thinking that being the last car in the parking lot makes you a good teacher. But here's the thing, it actually doesn't. This is going to help lead you to being able to consistently leave at 3 is recognizing this mistake and doing whatever you can to change this type of thinking. This is kind of one of those unspoken things in the teaching world, right? It's like this underlying or unspoken rule that no one talks about. It's just kind of expected, right? And then when you see those people leaving early, you're like, they must not be prepared. They're not a good teacher. I've thought all of these things. Um, or like, what are they doing? They're being late, whatever it is. We have all these meanings and these stories we put to it. Um, and I went on this way until I had my wake up call. Okay. Now, everyone tells you staying late or working really hard makes you a good teacher. And it's easy to fall into that trap, especially when you have veteran teachers telling you the same thing, or you're seeing that for yourselves because you're not seeing another way. So type yes in the chat if you can relate. And Nicole's wondering, how do they do it? Well, depends on the person. But I know teachers inside Easy Organization Tools who are using the Easy Organization method are using my systems and routines to be able to do it. So they're not just leaving a bunch of stuff, they're actually leaving prepared. And you can do that too if you want. Now, you know you really want to get to know your students, above and beyond, feed your passion for teaching, but there's so much to do, right? You're never feeling like you can do enough. You're pulled in a million different directions all day, and you almost always feel like you never are doing enough for your students, especially the last couple of years. But I want to ask you, what does staying late actually have to do with your ability and skills to teach? Can't bad teachers stay late too? Yeah, just because they're staying late doesn't make them a great teacher. And just because you're staying late doesn't make you a good teacher either. There's so much more to it. But if you continue to sacrifice your time and energy by losing yourself in your work, it's actually going to hurt your performance as a teacher, not to mention your personal life, right? Ask your husband, ask your wife, ask your kids. So, what actually makes you an effective teacher? Let me know in the chat. There's a lot of different parts of being an effective teacher, but I think one of them, one of the strongest is having strong boundaries and honoring them. And then having systems and routines in your classroom to make all of that possible. It's like our garden, it all works together. Now, before we get to step 3 and 4, I want to be clear on something and I want you to write this down. Done is better than perfect. As teachers, we're often perfectionists and we want to do the very, very best, but we're getting in our own way. Take action, even if it's just a baby step right now, because it's scary making a change and it's scary committing. Perfection's your enemy, and you just need to develop a simple system first. But we know you don't have a ton of time to do that, right? Especially with the school year you just had and all the changes. So, teachers who I have been working with have been using the easy organization method. It's what I created during my hospital scare when I was on the verge of burnout. I did all the trial and error for them. So all they have to do in their classroom is easily implement what I'm teaching them. It's a simple system that helped them go from workaholic teacher or burnout teacher to a 3 p.m. teacher. And it's possible for you too. Now, if the voice in your head is saying, I'm not ready for this, this isn't the time, you're freaking out, maybe your heart's beating a little fast, listen up. It's not about being ready, it's about being committed. So if you're willing to be committed and you want to learn more, I hope so, because your time is now. So last week I asked teachers inside the Easy Organization Tools program, which I'll talk about at the end of this training if you want to join us in it. I said, "Hey, what is your favorite strategy that made a measurable difference in your teaching this year?" Like pandemic teaching, um, that I can share with other teachers. And here they are. These teachers said after using the easy organization method, they are happier, they're less stressed, they have time for family and hobbies. They're no longer staying late and bringing work home because they have strong boundaries. They have systems and routines in place in their classroom, so they're more organized and they're finally enjoying teaching. Like they're actually looking forward to it. You know what, Leslie? That's such a good point. Leslie's saying I often hear teachers judge. I don't know if it's because the profession is like mainly women and women can be catty. If they judge, then they judge. That's on them. It's a reflection of them. It's not a reflection of you. You know what's best for your students. You know what's best for your family. So trust your gut and do what's best. Mrs. Banks, I hear this all the time too. It's hard to be a 3 p.m. teacher when it's acceptable and expected. Yeah, which is why we've got to change that. Um, which is why more teachers need to be holding boundaries and sticking to them because the more teachers won't be taken advantage of like they are right now. The more you start saying no, the more your principal's not going to keep coming to you because they know you're a sucker. And I don't mean that to offend you. I was a sucker. I said yes to everything. So they're like, we're just going to keep asking Kristen. So if that's the culture, maybe it's time for a different school. And I know that's a privileged thing to say, but you want to be in a school where you're supported and where principals are respecting your boundaries. We actually have principals who have purchased and are purchasing for their team the easy organization method because they actually want their teachers to have more balance and to be happier. So it's possible. It totally is possible. Um, Virginia, I get it. If you don't have, you don't understand how teachers can leave a contract time. We don't have planning time. We don't really have planning time either. I got creative with the time that I could have. And I share about how I got creative inside the Easy Organization Tools program. You just got to look at what you got and problem solve. Problem solve a bit there. Hey team, can you guys leave a link again to the all access page? And I'm gonna see if I can post it again. But I hear you, Virginia. It's challenging when you don't have any bit of planning time. But there's a solution to that. Yeah, and Sylvia says it's true. When you say yes, yeah, I'm one of them. And soon they're gonna learn when you stop saying yes, you don't have to explain. It's just I can't do it. Um, then they're going to go to someone else. They're going to find another sucker. Now, the teachers inside Easy Organization Tools, their gardens are flourishing even during pandemic teaching. All right, how? Well, one reason was they're able to lesson plan faster. Would you like to lesson plan faster? I actually love lesson planning in my classroom. I love trying to figure everything out. But have you ever sat down to lesson plan because I get very distracted, and you forget like where your favorite planning pen is, and then you go walk across your guided reading table to get it, and then you notice, oh my gosh, I forgot to change the date on the calendar. You do that, and then you realize your kids forgot to plug in the Chromebooks, and then there's scraps on the floor from your art project, and then you finally get your pen, and then I don't know, there's like a ding on your email. So you gotta go check that because you never know what it's gonna be. And then you start scrolling like Instagram or whatever on your phone. And next thing you know, 15 minutes has gone by and you've wasted all that time. That's me. Has it happened to you? If it has, you're not alone. I'm going to show you 3 simple tips from my system that you don't pay a dime for to help you manage and organize your time while you're lesson planning. All right, Shani, you get distracted too, not just me. Yeah, and it's also, I find, easier to get distracted when maybe you're doing something you don't like. Like whenever it's time to unload the dishwasher, I will do anything but that. All right, so all you need is a timer and your plan book and your materials. That is it. I'd show you my timer, but it's over there. I love my time timer. You could use the timer just on your phone, but what I love about this is it's a really, really great visual. I use it all the time in my classroom, but I'm going to teach you how to use it for yourself so that you can avoid distractions. Okay. Lock your doors if you can. If you got the capability, lock your doors, shut the blinds. I would even turn off my lights. Put your phone on airplane mode. If you got kids and you can't do that, just don't have it right next to you where it's easy to just look at it and scroll, okay? So put it across the room. If your kids need you, you'll be able to hear it, but you won't be tempted to do other things. And this is the biggest tip. You can do all these things to avoid the distraction, but if you don't respect the timer, none of it matters. And what I mean by that is when your timer goes off, it's time to get up and go. And by doing that, I'm honoring my time and my boundaries. Remember the soil from my garden? And you may be thinking, but how can I just get up and go if I've got stuff to do? We've got to change our mindset as teachers in that our to-do list isn't going to end. It's just always going to be there, and there's always going to be new things added. It's just part of teaching. We got to get to a place where we're like, okay, it's not going to end. I'm going to prioritize what I'm working on. So during my planning time, if I'm setting my timer for 45 minutes, that's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not checking email. I'm not chatting with my team. I'm not doing other things to waste 15 minutes. I am just planning 15 or 45 minutes, and that's that. And what I realized, as uncomfortable as it was leaving when it went off, like, this feels so awkward. I'm normally in my class for hours, is that everything was okay in my classroom. The next day, things were fine. My lesson went great. Like it's not going to be the end of the world. Try it. Give it a try. See what happens. Get into the habit of creating it and respecting the timer. Cool. We're giving away 4 of these inside our Facebook group. So make sure, if my team can link the all access page again, make sure to join it for your chance to win. All you have to do is leave a takeaway. Just comment a takeaway from today's training for a chance to win. But they're amazing. It's called the time timer. Use it for myself. It's the best. It is the best. You can use it for a million other reasons. I talk about all the other reasons inside the easy organization method, but it's good. And the best thing about this timer, you can visually see your time going. So I realize I can look at it and see like, oh, I really need to get more focused. And then it beeps when it goes off, so I know it's time to go. This is Kaylee. She was using the easy organization method. And as a first year teacher, she was leaving at contract hours almost every single day. Those are just a few simple tips from our planning module. There's a whole bunch more inside our program. Um, but this is what she was able to do. And that's pretty darn awesome. Now, I want to think about you as Kaylee, being a first year teacher or just being a 3 p.m. teacher. I want to take you on a future ride, um, or a ride into your future. Imagine that you came back in time and the future you is freaking pumped because you're doing everything you can that a 3 p.m. teacher does. And you tell yourself you did it. You're prepared, you're effective, you're consistently shutting off from work at 3 to go live your awesome life. You've got a group of like minded teachers to reach out to when you need to so you don't feel alone. Plus, those friends hold you accountable so that you stick to your boundaries. So you're no longer working late or bringing work home. Now, let's imagine 3 months from now, right? School has started. You're implementing systems from the easy organization method, and it's actually working. You're getting more time to enjoy teaching and even better, more time to go home well before it's dark to actually hang out with your family. And the best part, if you got kids, once they go to bed, you can actually sit, watch your favorite show without any grading or emails to check. Now, notice how that feels to see what you've always wanted for your life. Imagine that from 3 months from now and let me know in the chat, what would that feel like? Heck, Marcy, 3 weeks from now works because if you do decide to join our program, you'll get instant access today and you could get started if you wanted. Now let's look at yourself like in a year from today. You're consistently leaving school prepared and on time. You're getting the freedom and precious time that you always wanted. And you notice that it was your decision that you'll make today after this training to be fully committed to that journey of that work life balance that you've been dreaming of because you're tired of the way things have been going right now. Life's too dang short to be unhappy. Yeah, a lot of you are saying that it would sound like a dream. It would be awesome. It would feel really good. You can have that flourishing garden too. If you don't want it to be all red and you want it to be all the beautiful colors, you can. Now, one reason your garden may not be flourishing is all the time you spend on grading. Grading was one of the least favorite things that and sassy parents I didn't love about teaching. Um, it just isn't. But all you need for this next tip is your student work and your grading checklist. This is a bonus which you will get for attending today's training, staying to the end. Kimberly, if you have to leave now, yeah, you can join the afternoon session. You'll just need to email us and we'll get that set up for you. You guys are all saying a dream come true. It is, but it's also possible. So these grading checklists are the best. I know we have many teachers inside the Easy Organization Tools program who are in here can vouch for these grading lists. Actually, inside the program, not only do they get these lists, but they get $400. It's more at this point worth of teaching resources to help you get organized and on track. That's all included as well, but this is always a favorite. Um, what I use these for is to keep track of, and these are perfect for beginning of the school year, keep track of all the papers that come back, all the emergency forms, keep track of permission slips, picture money, everything. Or if you have a guest teacher or your classes are swapping, just give the grading list to the teacher and you're all set. Yeah, you use these all the time. I love it. They're so good. They're so, so good. But a way that I use them grading to really, really help me um, is I used the three drawer system from the easy organization method to easily keep track. Oops, sorry, to easily keep track of student work. And so what I did is I would have my student work, I would clip it to the grading list. I'd be able to grade my student work, send it back a lot quicker. The problem that I found that was holding me up is it was taking me forever to grade because I didn't have time to input grades into our grade book, our online grade book. And for being honest, I don't want to grade them. So, because of these lists, I was able to send work home quicker and give immediate feedback because what I could do is send the work home, right? But then I keep those grading lists in my three drawer system. And then once a month or whatever it needed to be, that's when I would be able to input my grades. So work got home. And then I had these to use to look back on. And yeah, what's really great, Virginia, is using this system, you're no longer going to lose papers anymore because everything is attached to that. Okay. So it wasn't as overwhelming. Papers didn't pile up like they used to for grading. And then what's really, really great inside our program, I show you exactly how not to lose papers again, not only for you, but for your students too. So there was no worries about no name papers, missing work, dramatically decreased from using that system that I share inside the actual program. Yeah, if you have to input weekly, Marcy, this will still make it easier for you. All right, and then here's something that people are gonna fight me on, and it's okay. It's totally okay. Believe it or not, you don't have to grade everything. The grading section of the easy organization method makes it entirely possible to not grade everything. And it's most effective when you have systems and routines in place because you're actually sticking to your boundaries and using your time effectively. So what does that mean? Choose one part to focus on. If you're grading writing, I found writing took forever. Rather than grading everything there, pick whatever standard that you're really focusing on and look at that. Because not only is it overwhelming for me as a teacher to grade everything with writing, It's overwhelming for my 7-year-olds, right? They don't care. I'm gonna pick one part. If we're working on punctuation, that's what I'm looking at. If we're looking at transitions, that's what we're working on. So whatever that may be, choose one part to focus on. If you're teaching math, you don't need to go over every single problem you guys just did in the class. Pick a few, go over them, and you're good to go. Otherwise, that's why we get caught up in grading taking so long. And to be honest, homework, I don't grade. I stopped grading it after an amazing mentor, teacher, actually principal told me, don't grade it. It's home, it's practice, check for completion, and then it goes in the recycling bin at the end of the day on Friday. So that really worked for me and the thousands of teachers inside the Easy Organization Tools program to make grading easier. Now I know there's more parts. It worked really great. We used a student system where I trained my students down to kindergarten how to grade their work, and it saved me a lot of time and it gave them accountability, and they were able to see how they did a lot faster. Now, inside the Easy Organization Method, I walk you through exactly how to train your students to be able to do this. Now, the system allowed me, and it should say over 2,000 teachers cut down on grading by 50%. How does that sound? Now, Erin, a veteran teacher, said after using the system, she doesn't feel like she's drowning all the time or stressing out. She gets to the end of the trimester or end of the year, and she's way more organized than she's ever been. She can't say what it does for her personally, just to make things feel like they're in control again. Now, what I teach inside the program, where you get full access to the Easy Organization Method, is a simple system that will walk you through step by step using simple grading systems so you don't have to do it alone. There's nothing worse than going to a PD and then you get stuck and you're like, I need some help. You will get that inside the program. Shara, who's been teaching for 17 years, said it gave me a place to go. It was a constant resource. Julie said, you're getting the benefits of someone else's experience and the tips to make it smooth from the beginning. So today you learned 4 simple steps to consistently leave school at 3. Now, I'm not sure why you showed up today. Maybe you're overwhelmed because teaching's consumed your life. It could be that you're living all the free time you have during the summer and you want to figure out how to get it back. Or maybe because you know there's so much to do and too little time, and so much is falling through the cracks, like your family. But remember, deep down, you know that next year's not going to be different. Every year we hope, right? Different group of kids, different group of parents, different admin. Last year was hard because of the curriculum. Last year was hard because of the pandemic. Things aren't going to be different. We fall into the trap of hoping that they are, right? Because that'd be easier than actually having to make a change. Um, and we think we didn't get out of school on time because of all the million different reasons. But what makes this year any different? If we're being honest, here's the truth. It's not going to be any different if you don't have a proven system in place right now because nothing changes if nothing changes. Margarita said, I feel like I'm going to be prepared and that I'll be leaving. I'll be one of those early leaving teachers come September. So, the obvious question right now that you may be thinking, how can I finally be a 3 p.m. teacher who looks forward to going to work and enjoys teaching? And then I get to turn off my teacher brain and actually be present at home. So you've got a choice. You can go one of 2 ways. You can keep doing it the slow, complicated way, right? And making excuses and just hoping things magically change, or you can be strategic about it. I want you to go, you know which way I would go. You know which way I would tell you to go. Um, are you going to stay stuck and hope for change? Or are you actually going to commit? Let me know in the chat. So now you're thinking, what is the easy organization? What is easy organization tools that I've been talking about? It's my complete step-by-step system, AKA the easy organization method that'll get you out of the parking lot at 3 o'clock consistently, designed to take you by hand to set up systems and routines in your classroom so that you can get your time back, right? So you can have that strong soil in your garden. There's no missing steps. It's the quickest and most effective way to get from point A to point B because you get immediate access and you get to go at your own pace, which is absolutely amazing. I love who was saying that you want to print the picture out and put it in a frame. Yeah, Sharma, it's time for a change. Beth's ready to commit. So is Paula. This program is the only program out there that shows you exactly how to streamline procedures and routines, use your time wisely and effectively to increase productivity and bring balance, oops, back into your life. I mentioned it's the easiest way to do it, leaving it 3. I did all the trial and error for you, so you don't have to. Before I tell you how much and how to join and all that good stuff, I want to share with you real quick. Kelly, who's been teaching for 24 years, she read about the course and was like, I don't know, is this for real? I felt selfish wanting to spend money on me because we always want to do for everyone else, right? She said she's glad she did. It was worth every penny. She became a better, more efficient, and happy teacher after taking this class. I fell in love with teaching again because the other parts became manageable. If you aren't sure, say yes for your class, for your family. She wished she found this years ago. And yeah, that's what teachers always tell us. They wish they had something like this early on in um, early on in their teaching career so they could get all of that unpaid overtime back. So if you want your garden to look like this as well, you can. I put it into a 3-phase system just so you can kind of see what it looks like. All of those put together to really help your garden flourish is the easy organization method. Here's some of the benefits we've shared about. As soon as you join, you'll get instant access to all of these different training modules. And then inside each module, I'll give you a little quick peek for lesson planning, for instance. These are all the training videos on the left. They're bite-sized videos. You can watch at your own pace, pick and choose what you need the most support with, and go from there. Inside grading, you guys are asking what does student grading look like? I walk you through it. Adult grading, grading checklists, what to do with your assessments, how to do it all digitally. And then we also have 2 bonus live trainings with expert teachers who are in the classroom right now. So we'll poll you guys in about a month and say, hey, what do you need support with? That's my timer. What do you need support with? And then we'll create a training around that for you. You also get $400 worth of teaching resources. So the things I mentioned, you get immediate access to. So here's some of the bonuses. You get a professional development certificate. It says 22 self-paced hours. It's actually 26, Anika. It depends on whatever your district approval process is for those PD credit. You get a classroom toolbox with tons of digital resources for you and you can access it from anywhere, which makes it cool. So, yeah, Cheryl's like, what does it cost? We are here. You can go the DIY route, figure it out yourself, but continue thinking, what is that going to cost you? And chances are, if you have it, you won't do it. I used to charge $799 for this when I taught at fancy teaching conferences, and you only got like a tenth of what I talked about. It's cheaper than that, cheaper than your airfare to get there. You can get the complete system for $197, or we don't have this on here, but you can. You can get started today for just $60 with the payment plan from the comfort of your couch in your PJs if you want. So go ahead, click the link to join us. It should be in the chat. Here's everything you get access to with the standard plan. And then we have a VIP plan for fastest results, which means you also get a ticket to our virtual event featuring Mr. D and other speakers called Refresh and Recharge. You get additional trainings to show you how to actually teach. So I like walk you through how to actually teach guided reading and manage guided reading. You'll get additional PD credit if you do the VIP plan. You'll get monthly office hours with me. And then what we just added today for you, because you've been asking in the Facebook group, is you also get access to our classroom purge trainings. We just had a training last week where we purged filing cabinets, digital files, closets, paper piles, all the things. So we just added that for you as well. So you can do one payment or you can choose the payment plan by clicking the link in the chat. And team, I'm having trouble being able to pin the link. Here on YouTube. So let me try to get back to that. And then we've got questions about it. Yeah, you get lifetime access. You get an exclusive community support. So it's not like that teacher's lounge. Anytime we upgrade it or we add additional trainings, you get updates for life, which is really cool. So teachers who got in early are like super pumped. The videos are typically 5 to 15 minutes. So you can Watch it while you're eating a muffin at recess, pick and choose what you want. The videos also, you can print out a PDF if you don't want to watch them and just look at it as you go. As soon as you make your payment and you join, you get access. Renee, you can choose a one-time fee or a payment plan. It's totally up to you. Purge comes with the VIP, and it should be on the page you guys are all clicking on. We also included a stress management bonus curated specifically for teachers because we know things are stressful. So we've got a 100% satisfaction guarantee from 48 hours from the time you purchase. So if you're like, Kristen, this is horrible, you're not going to say that, but if you do, or whatever happens, just email us, let us know. No questions asked, and then we will get that for you. If you already paid for the purge, email us. You have a coupon code we sent you guys a couple days ago to apply that to this. Cool. All right. So the total value of all of that is $3,400. But right now, if you join within the next 15 minutes, you're going to also get this fast action bonus, which is $15 to my Easy Teaching Tools store to buy anything that's not included in the program. So if you need centers or classroom forms, I know we have a bunch of stuff in there, but just to get you the quickest results, that is in there for the next 15 minutes. Oh, wow. Samantha already joined. Awesome. Let us know in the chat when you do join. That's really, really exciting. Nancy, there's no code because it's already discounted for you right now. Thanks for asking. Lisa just joined. Lisa, awesome. Welcome. We can't wait to start collaborating with you over there. They're getting immediate access. Right now, you're getting everything you need to get started. So, congratulations. Yeah, if you're waiting for payday, send us an email right now. We have teachers do this every year so that we can support you and we may be able to extend how long this is open. You have until next Thursday to join. So you've got a week. We're not going to open this up again probably until next summer because mom life. My husband travels mostly full time. So seeing what I can do to make this happen. Is this instant? Oh, congratulations. Sue is joining. Yeah, it is instant. So as soon as you join, you'll get a link to join right now. Angela, I hear you. That's why we created a 4-part payment plan. Email us though. We always can work with teachers in your budget because we know it's summertime and it's, got to conserve our money. So I get that. Go ahead and email us. Wow, Ms. Jen just joined VIP. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Felicia. Awesome. Yeah, a lot of teachers say I'm watching this training and then my husband heard me and he's like, you need this. You need this right now. There's no, it says, what's the coupon? There's no coupon code. It just pops up again. We're not offering this. We don't plan to offer this again. Just like I said, with life being busy, we typically do this once a summer. So the next time will be next year. Is it appropriate for 8th grade? We have lots of middle school and high school teachers. My training is in K-5, so that's where what I know, you can take what you learn and apply it and just make it work. Make it work for the big kids. Tammy, if you did the classroom purge, check your email. We've got a code there for you. Valerie, I'm going to share how you can get those grading checklists, I think, right about now. All right, so you've got 15 minutes for that fast action bonus. I'm going to show you what to do in just a moment. Let's see. Tony, can you guys leave the link to join again? And I'm sorry, guys, I didn't pin it. My phone is not letting me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so that's the wrong link. Here it is. And then if you have any more questions, leave them. We'll have a question time. But for those of you who aren't going to be joining us yet, I will get to your bonuses and things like that. But I want to show you this real quick before you go, and before I show the secret phrase. All right, here's what it looks like just when you guys get to that page. All you have to do is tells you all the modules, everything that is included. And then you'll just click join now and choose the plan that works best for you. If you want to see a sneak peek into everything you get, you can watch the video here. There's a sneak peek. I'm not going to do that for you. And then here, if you want to compare them, and then you can choose if you want to pay in full or if you want to do the payment plan. And then there's our guarantee there. So you'll just click, all right, I'm in, pick what you want to do. So maybe if you're doing standard plan, for instance, and then you just input your email and all that stuff. So there is that. All right. Oh, welcome, April. Glad you're joining us. There's no coupon code unless you did the purge. So if you did the purge and still need your code, go ahead and email us if you don't have it. We'll also be emailing you guys all right after this and probably for the next couple days so that you can join. You can join then. All right, let me get back real quick to your secret phrase and all your there we go. Questions we're doing. Secret phrase is method creates. So remember, you have a chance to win $200 as you collect secret phrases as we go. So that is the secret phrase. If you missed the first secret phrase, go back in the Facebook group, enter it. Secret phrase is right here. Claudia, send us an email. Let us know what's so frustrating. All right, here is your bonus. Let me hide myself. We'll leave the link for you in the chat as well. Go to easyteachingtools.com/training bonuses. And you will be able to see exactly, you'll get your, I can't think right now, you'll get your training bonuses. Virginia's secret phrase is in your companion workbook here. And you'll input those for a chance to win $200. Welcome, Veronica. Heather, if it were me, I would do the VIP because there's so much good stuff in there and we never know when the price is going to go up. So if it were me, get a head start now. Felicia, send us an email. Guys, where to input all of these is all the info is in your companion workbook. So make sure to go to easyteachingtools.com/3 p.m. all access to get yours. No coupon code. Video A is inside the Facebook group. Heidi, what the secret phrase is I'll go back to it. We're giving away $200. So every video that you watch will have a secret phrase. And then in your companion workbook, there's a space for you to input all your phrases. And then at the end next week, we'll email you with the link where you can input all of your phrases for a chance to win $200. All right, welcome, welcome. If you guys have any more questions, let us know. Other than that, I'm really excited to be working with you inside the program. I'm so excited for you for taking a chance and committing and recognizing that nothing changes unless you do. Jenny, welcome. Lori, welcome. Maritza, send us an email and let us know that, and we will be able to work with you. Raven, great question. You have a week to purchase, but within the next 15 minutes is when you get that fast action bonus of the $15 store credit. Renee, the freebies are right here, hon. easyteachingtools.com/training bonuses. That will have, and I'll show you how to access that right now. It will show you how to get your certificate and your grading list. So let me go back to my link my team shared with me so I can show you how to get them and how to download them if you need a little support. Oops. Oh, I see the problem. All right, cool. All right, let me show you. All right, Renee, here is what we are doing. I'll share it here. Jen, sorry to hear your student teaching was not the best. Robin, the $15 bonus is for either option you choose. Payment plan, all the things. All right, here's what your bonus page looks like, guys. You'll click here to grab your PD certificate. So it'll look like that. You can print that out just for joining us today. And then this one here, your download, your editable class list. Here's the big thing. People always kind of mess up on this one. Download it from here. Don't just start using it from here because it won't save. And once you go away from this page, it'll be all gone. So just click download and you'll be able to use those. Cool. Cool. And then you can still join us right over here. And then if you want to enter the giveaways, click here. Try to make it super, super easy. And then if you want to hear about other teachers and the success they've had, teacher moms, burned out teachers, they are all there. All right, there is the link again. Go to easyteachingtools.com/training bonuses. Danielle, give it time. It should make a copy for you as soon as you download it. But if I were you, Danielle, I would save that link somewhere else. All right, correct workbook. Can you leave that workbook again? All right, if you have any other questions, go ahead, email us at customer support at easyteachingtools.com. We'll be able to help you there. Workbook is here. Here's where you can email us. All right, everyone. Thanks again for being here. I'm really excited. Really continue to keep this party going inside Easy Organization Tools, and make sure to attend the bonus trainings inside our Facebook group for a chance to win some awesome prizes as well. All the info where to input secret phrases are all in your companion workbook. I promise. It's all there. If you can't download the workbook, give it a moment. It's a large file, so it may just be your internet, may need to refresh. Um, Jennifer, glad you are trying to join. If you're having any trouble, send us an email. All right, Jill, you're so welcome. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy, busy day and for committing. All right, bye, everyone.